Hey there, how we doing? Welcome to Taking the PCAST and the AJ, part number 3, which is all about promo and promotion. So I got asked a couple of days ago about the things that I do promotional-wise, and I thought rather than just say go on my social media, which is what I did say, I thought I'd do a quick sort of video podcast about it. And it's more to do with behind the scenes kind of thing. I could say, yes, I do leaflets, and you may have seen them all. Yes, I do promotional stuff online and videos, and again, you can see them on my socials. But I thought I'd show you physicals, things that I do, and explain what I do to sort of promote the tour and myself as a comedian, really. I have done podcasts about what my intentions were, what I plan to do comedy wise. Going back in November last year when I first sort of thought, I'll give this a go. Let's go for this. I've been interested in comedy for a while. It's not just something that immediately came out of nowhere. I've been interested in comedy, performing comedy in front of sort of private groups, that kind of thing, writing jokes, writing stories, that kind of thing for a while. But going back to November, obviously I was drafting details down about stories and jokes and those kind of things. But what I also did is I drafted the information I wanted to do for leaflets, promos, that kind of thing. And the first thing I did was I grabbed a pad, as you can imagine. And I still have this pad. And I haven't actually written anything on this pad since that particular day. So there you go. That was my draft for a leaflet, promotional wise. Now, when I started thinking about doing comedy in November a bit more seriously, I didn't expect it to be quite so full on. I know what you're thinking. What? You just stand up and perform. It's more to it than that, there really is. Now, most comedians will have a management team, especially if they make it. They'll have people working on the behalf. They might even have friends and family to begin with, helping them out with social media and leaflet distributions and all that kind of thing. They may just use social media solely. That's their process. That's fine. I'm a bit old school. I like to meet people face to face, greet them, shake hands, chat to them, feedback, that kind of thing, information, chat to each other about options and scenarios and all those kind of things. So yeah, that's what I did. So you can imagine, I created my leaflet. My leaflet number 1 was this one here, just there. So half an A4, that one. Quite simple, quite straightforward. This leaflet's quite an important leaflet actually, because it's the first one I did. It's obviously the one that I approached a lot of places with, and it's the one that first went in to most of these places. So we're talking fast food places, we're talking supermarkets, we're talking fashion retail stores, retail in general, businesses, pubs, that kind of thing. So this particular leaflet went in first to all those places. It's one that I carried around, printed off countless amounts. It is half a A4 as well, so it's not too intrusive in terms of taking up space. I'm very conscious when I go to these places and put up leaflets and put up posters that they may not necessarily want me to take up the whole window space with a large poster. Yes, I'd love to do that across the board because I guess it draws more attention. It's like popping there on the window, but it's basically trying to work with what options we've got, really. One thing I also found with that leaflet being quite small is it was taken by the majority of people, and by that I mean what I'd find is I go into certain companies and they'd be a bit protective of their brand. So your Asda's, your Matalan's, B&Q, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, really big companies. You don't see people's random posters in the window or anything advertised. You don't even see charity stuff there neither, really. I think Asda do, but that's about it. You don't really see charity stuff even there, so they're a bit social media savvy with that side of things, really. And even then, you've got to be quite involved with these companies in order to get a foot through the door. So when I approached them, I obviously wasn't aware of this, so I approached them, I wouldn't say naively, but I'd say I approached them just openly and hopeful with my leaflet, and I was rejected, and it was more a disappointment. But my salesmanship kicked in then, and I thought, do you know what? Okay, yes, I wanted to appeal to your customers, but the fact that I couldn't means I have to be quite clever here, because I'm obviously going to go away empty-handed otherwise. So as a man who doesn't take no for an answer, there you go. Don't take a no for an answer, people. What I did is I took this leaflet and I said, right, okay, have you guys got a staff room, or have you got somewhere that this can be advertised to the employees instead? Because, okay, I can't get the hundreds, thousands, and there's quite a lot of customers who come through the door to all of these places that I just mentioned before. But if I can't appeal to them, I'm going to have to find another way of appealing. And each of these companies have huge amount of employees. They could be anywhere between 20 and 100, maybe even more, 150, depending on the place, the company. So I mentioned to them to put this in the staff room then, to draw attention to it to the staff and employees who hopefully will come to the shows, love the shows, and then come and see me. So, you know, at the end of the day, employee, customer, you know, managers, whatever, they're all bums on seats. They're all audience members. And to me, that is my currency as a comedian. You know, that and obviously money for the shows. But at the end of it all, it's predominantly bums on seats. You want an audience. An audience is quite important. So whether it's employees or whether it's customers, doesn't matter. You're all in the day a form of audience. And that's how that's my mentality towards this, really. So clever sausage. And the fact that it's quite small means it was much more easier to get that into the staff room. Now, it has evolved into an A4 for those that are willing, those companies that were willing to take my poster at a larger form. So anyway, you see this one, they were more accepting towards the fact that I had a big, you know, poster, or let's be honest, they've probably got community boards, you know, notice boards that I could put it on anyway, regardless. So when I think about it, I'm pretty much all around the whole of Redditch in some form, whether I'm in physical form and you see it in the doors, or you see it in the windows, or you see it on notice boards, or whether I'm hidden away that you don't see. Just know that I'm there and everywhere as much as I can be. I'm trying to sort of plaster myself around as the main comedian in Redditch. That is the ultimate point, really, to all this, you know, to draw attention to comedy in Redditch and to draw attention to me. Because at the end of the day, that's the point, isn't it, really? You know, this whole thing's here for a reason. I didn't just put this in the backdrop just for fun to cover up some lovely hedges behind us. So I will give you a sneak peek, a little special one. We have got confirmation now that the Valentine's Day show is at AJRedditch School at the theatre. I have got that all prepped and ready to go on the 14th of February. As you can see, this is a nice little sneak peek. Essentially, this is the same as the other leaflets I just showed to you, but it's bulked up heavily. It will probably be the future of my leaflets as well, to a degree, apart from the fact that it's got hearts on it. I will be changing that. Obviously, the eyes here have changed a little bit on purpose. I put 4th of February down here, and we've got some QRs, which will be on pretty much all of my leaflets going forwards now. So yeah, that's the new leaflet. 14th of February, Valentine's Day, people. Come to my show. So don't just go to the local garage, yeah, and collect some flowers for your missus and some chocolates and a card maybe. Get all three of those anyway, so your chocolates, your cards, and your flowers. But when you get the card, grab 2 tickets to my Valentine's Day show, yeah? Pop them inside the card. Win-win, yeah? 2 for the price of 1 gift, that one, really, isn't it? Here's your card. And most people, when they get a card, it's basically just that with a note inside it, you know. Sometimes some cash, which is quite nice as well, for like a birthday or a Christmas or something like that. Why not stick 2 lovely little comedy Valentine's Day tickets inside there, yeah? To come and see me at AJRedditch. Good idea, see? Think about it. So that's basically the leaflets that I've been doing, the promotion. That's the physicals. That's the physicals, you see. I will explain really, really quickly what I do with those. So I use 3 pieces of software. 2 you'll be very familiar with. The first one is Microsoft Word, obviously. The go-to for word processing, that kind of thing. Really easy. I use Word really to finalize everything, to piece it together to make it look A4, a nice little preview. Paint, another huge one. Microsoft Paint, or the new Paint on Windows 11, or Paint 3D, I think it's called, isn't it? That's there to import pictures and to crop and tweak them and perfect them for the particular leaflet. And then I use a third piece of software, which you probably aren't familiar with, maybe you're not familiar with, software called Bartender. Now, I'm not going to promote Bartender because at the end of the day, I only used it for my own use. I did use it for when I was in employment, and I'm very familiar with the software. I've been using it for years and years and years, which is half the reason why I sort of reverted to that as being my go-to for the designing aspect of it. It is a labeling software. So essentially, you put your pictures, you put your text fields, you put your barcodes, you put something fancy. Essentially, it's actually a labeling sticker software. So your labels that you print off that go on all your packaging, that particular software is designed for that reason. But because I'm very familiar with it, and it's, you know, something that I'm au fait with, I decided to use that really to piece it together. So very simply put, you can probably work it out. I'll show you the Valentine's example. This one here is a text field on the top with a board around it. That there is an image. I've actually took out the eyes. So sort of wipe those out, as you can see here from the previous one, crop them out and replace them with a pair of hearts to make it more Valentine's-y. That's it. Same down here. This is actually text fields, believe it or not. And we've got the date with some hearts either side of it, which again, that's just done through text fields again here, text field there. This here is QR code, which you can create within the software Bartender. And then you put URL. So this right now, if you scanned it, would take you to Facebook, to my page. And then finally, what you got down here is a couple of pictures for each of the social medias. and my handle at the end. So that's all done in, that part was done in Paint and just copied and pasted across as an image. So very simple. However, when I say simple, to me, yes, it doesn't take that long to do because, you know, I'm used to the software. Someone starting up or playing around with this for the first time, promotional wise, you can use Photoshop. I mean, I get Photoshop. I've used it, but I just didn't want the complexities of it really. I just wanted something straightforward, quick and done. Photoshop is a bit more graphical. It's a bit more deeper than the other softwares that I've been using. So in terms of promotional, I do go out and about, as you can imagine. You can see on my socials I've been out and about. When I'm out and about, I usually have a lovely high-vis on, lovely high-vis with my leaflet pinned to the front of it, which or to the back of it technically, but I turn it round so it's at the front of me, if you want to put it that way. And then, you know, music tunes to draw attention to myself, talking to people, interacting. That's the key, really. As I say, I'm very open to talking. I'm not afraid to sort of chat to people. I'm not very standoffish in that sense. I'm very approachable, whether it's supermarkets, whether it's just walking around the town, whether it's just in general. You know, it's not in my nature to sort of hide or shy away. You know, if we're in Aldi, for example, and you spot me and you recognise me and you say hi, if I've got stuff in my basket food-wise and you have a little look, because people get nosy, don't they, when you see someone, I will have a joke about it. I'll tell you what I'm making for dinner, and then have a look at yours, and you can tell me what you're making for dinner, and that kind of thing. You know, jokes. I'm not too fussed about stuff like that. You know, I don't get all funny about, oh, don't look at me, or, you know, have to have food deliveries rather than physically go out to shops. It's not in my nature to hide in that sense. So I will continue to go to Aldi. I'll continue to go to the Kingfisher Centre, Farm Foods, keep me farm food. I love farm foods. A little place like that, you know, Sainsbury's. I'll go to all of them, Asda. So anyway, when I am out and about doing promotional stuff, though, this is usually the thing that comes to me. The front part, we've added a lovely little QR now to this one, so you scan it and you get to Facebook, but otherwise that's the general gist of the page. And there is a second side. Yes, there is a second side. This top part changes naturally because this currently right now is advertising my shirt vignettes. The one at the bottom is very legitimate, which I'm sure you've seen me put on social medias if you guys follow me or checking out the socials. I have got newspaper articles in the Redditch Standard and the Redditch Advertiser. Yes, I do. Now, I have this as well that I bring along with me. New one, this one. And it's purely because I've been mistaken for two of these so far. Not the refugee one. I threw that in. There's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, awkward one. But homeless, I'm not. I'm not a refugee. I'm not charity. I'm, in fact, a comedian. And the reason the top two are there is because people have tried to give me cash. And I don't understand why they tried to give me cash. I don't look rough, I don't think. I look fairly well-groomed, so you look at the sleek sides. You know, and I'm not wearing cheap clothes or anything. Not that that matters, because quite frankly, I shop at Primark and all these other places. So I'm the same as everyone else. I don't just go to one particular shop. I'm not some kind of, I've got to get Armani clothes or anything like that. But I don't wear the cheapest clothes in the world. And I think I'm relatively smartly dressed. Not too bad. So yeah, I am actually a comedian at the end of it all. I've been chatting to people about options, and I think what I'll do going forwards is, I think what the agreements with everyone is that I'll probably just have a piece of paper that says comedian on it, and that'll save life. It'll save people so much time from sort of wondering what the hell I'm stood there for and what I'm doing. But the way it's worked so far is once people start chatting to me, they get it. They know that I'm not there to sell them insurance or finance or to get money from them or, you know, anything like that. That's not my intention at all. What I've also done, and again, another thing you guys probably would have seen is these. This is my tickets. So this is used Microsoft Word. I used Microsoft Word to create this. Obviously copied bits across from Bartender and other programs to create the top half, which is very much in keeping with the rest of my leaflets. The lower half is essentially just print offs in a vertical form. And I used a wonderful tool to cut these up. Really, really, really good tool. Very brand new to the market. It's this thing. It's called a pair of scissors. Yeah. So I used a pair of lovely modern scissors to cut out each of these strips by hand. So all of them are cut with love, made with love, prepared with lots of love. And the reason I'm sort of smiling and laughing at that, because I've found that people have taken the whole sheet when I've put it out and about for some random reason beyond me. I'm assuming it's kids. You know, I hate to blame the kids because technically it's the parents' fault when it's the kids doing things, and it's the parents' fault. So yes. Don't take the A4. I've done a TikTok video on how to tear these things off. For goodness sake, people. One at a time, two at a time, but don't be taking the whole A4. You don't need this. Take a picture of it if you don't know where the show is. Yeah, take a picky. We've got phones. 21st century, people. You should take pictures of this. Hey, Now, the fact that I've got QR codes on certain leaflets that are on the new ones should mean that hopefully people are just taking a picture of that or scanning it and then taking a ticket, and they'll take you straight to my Facebook page. And I pin at the top of each of my Facebook profiles the important bits. So at the moment, the pinned message is about Win Yates Green Community Centre show on the 26th this week, and where you can get tickets from. So quite frankly, if you know your way around social media and you've got an account, it should be quite quick and easy for you to work out where you're going really on the day, quite frankly. So yeah, basically that's the idea behind promotion. As I say, I do go out and about. I am a friendly person, have to be. I've got to make people laugh, for goodness sake. So yeah, that's it. I don't swear much in that sense neither. I'm quite clean in terms of when you meet and greet me. I didn't say the show was clean. It says 18 plus. But yeah, so keep an eye on the social medias. All right. This particular episode is all about promotion, and that's really the whole thing behind it. I will leave you finally with just confirming a couple of bits that I put on my social media in terms of what's going on, what's happening. So obviously 5th of January is behind us, the Oakenshaw show. That's all done. That was a brilliant show. So once again, thanks to everyone who came to that one. 26th of January is this week, and we've got that at Win Yates Green. So really looking forward to that one. 14th of February, you saw on the leaflet, that's at Arravale High School. That's all confirmed and locked in. 1st of March is where we tackle Windmill. That's over at Headless Cross, Crabs Cross End, Ryegrass Lane. That's on the 1st of March. Then we're at Batchley on the 22nd of March. So that's a good local-ish show for me. So Batchley's good. 5th of April, then we move over to Webb Heath at the Village Hall. That one's all agreed. Good to go. So 5th of April. Then 19th is where I'm looking at, I think, for the Yarra Valley Lake. It's not confirmed, that one. Don't need to TBC on that one. But 19th of April is what we're looking at for that. Then we're looking at early May. So round about possibly 3rd-ish, possibly for Forge Mill. Again, I've got to confirm that one with them. But let's say very early May, the Friday, will be the likelihood for Forge Mill. And then what we do is we move over to South Redditch. So South Redditch Social Club, that's going to be the 17th of May. So I've got that one booked in. So come and have a watch if you're in the sort of Woodrowy area, sort of Greenlands area. I'm doing a show at the South Redditch, and that's on the 17th of May. And then finally, the big finale, that is on the 31st of May, and that's Redditch United. So at the Redditch United ground, I'll be performing, probably recording that one as well. So that could be a really big show. Obviously, it'll be the only show that's been recorded, so I can watch over it, see how I'm doing. By that point, obviously, we're at the end of the show. So, the end of the tour and everything. So it's a nice little finale for everyone. So anyway, thanks for watching. Look out for more PCasts as we go along. But thanks for tuning in. It's AJ taking the PCast. Take it easy. See you soon.